The me you think you are is not you. Since childhood, we have been taught to believe that I is a name, a body, a set of thoughts, emotions, memories, roles. You say, I am Lawn, an engineer, a wife, a mother, and think that is you. But Ramana Maharshi shattered that illusion with just one question. Who am I? The question is not to satisfy the mind, but to burn it down. Because in our quest to define who I am, we are forced to realize that everything we identify as I is changing, is impermanent. And what changes cannot be the true nature. Your body changes. Your thoughts come and go. Your emotions rise and fall like waves. Your social identity is just a temporary role. So, who are you when those things are gone? The unchanging, the real you. When you close your eyes and turn inward, what remains if all external forms disappear? No more body image. No more social roles. No more words that others call you. But there is still a knowing, a nameless presence, a very clear feeling that I am here. Even if you cannot express it, you know that you are there. Ramana Maharshi called it Sat Chitananda, being, consciousness, joy, your ultimate nature. It is not something you have to become. It is what always is, unchanging, unborn and undying. He said, that which sees change cannot change. You see the body changing, the thoughts changing, the emotions coming and going, but that which is witnessing it all remains unmoved, remains the same. The problem is, we don't look at it. Instead of returning to what is known, we run after what is known. We run after emotions, and are carried away by emotions. We run after thoughts, and are controlled by thoughts. We run after events, and then forget who is seeing the events. You are not the moving thing in the stream of life. You are the basis of all movement, silently present all the time. A vivid illustration, the screen and the movie. Ramana used a very simple image, the movie and the screen. On the screen, hundreds of scenes appear, birth and death, love and hate, events, climaxes. But the screen is not affected by any of them. The movie may be horror, romance, or violence, but the screen remains pure. You are the screen. The mind, the emotions, the roles, they are just temporary films that pass through you. Awakening is realizing that you are not the movie. You are the motionless white background behind it all. Why is this important? Because if you think you are the movie, you will live in confusion, fear, longing. If you realize that you are the screen, you are eternally free, amidst all the circumstances. You do not need to deny life. You do not need to separate yourself from the movie. You just need to remember, I am that which does not change, that which sees everything, but is not harmed by anything in it. That is the most solid foundation, where there is no more fear, no more seeking. You are already what you seek. 3. Searching outside, the root error of the human mind. Ramana Maharshi once said something extremely profound. The mind is that which always looks outside. It does not know how to look within itself. And so it is lost in illusion all its life. We all grow up with an unconscious belief. There is something out there that will complete me. The right lover will make me happy. A good job will make me fulfilled. Money will bring freedom. Knowledge will make me enough. And we run from one goal to another. Achieved, again empty. Lost, again painful. We are conditioned to look outside, without realizing what we really need is ourselves. All suffering stems from wrong identification. Ramana explains, when you define yourself wrongly, everything that follows is wrong. If you think of yourself as the body, then illness, old age, death will frighten you. If you think of yourself as the mind, then any negative thought or worry will control you. If you think you are someone else, you live in comparison, struggle, ego protection every minute. The whole social structure, media, education reinforces this illusion, making you forget the silent known that observes everything. Ramana Maharshi does not teach you anything more. He removes all the layers. Not adding, only subtracting. Not leading you to a new belief, but helping you see what has always been there. The key question, what have you been searching for? Look back at everything you have been pursuing, from love, success, knowledge. Do you see that behind all those goals, there is a deep longing for wholeness, peace, happiness? Ramana points out, you don't need to go anywhere to find peace. Stop believing that you are lacking, and peace will appear right here. The individual ego is the root of all desires. When the ego dissolves, there is nothing to lack. There is nothing to attain, because you are the whole. Ramana's solution, don't seek, just see. Ramana did not say, you should renounce the world. He said, give up the illusion that you are the one who is lacking, who needs to be perfected. When you see clearly that you are not the seeking, but the knowing who sees, the whole game of seeking ends. And you will find a peace, unconditional, that has never left you. Who am I? Not a question, but a mirror that destroys illusions. If there is a single legacy that Ramana Maharshi left behind, it is not a doctrine or a philosophy, but a single key, sharp as a sword, burning like fire, penetrating straight to the root of all suffering. Who am I? Don't misunderstand. This is not a philosophical question, not to give an answer. The purpose is not to find another definition of self, but to disintegrate the questioner himself. The question does not lead to knowledge, but to silence. Normally, when you ask something, you expect an answer. But when you ask who am I, in the way Ramana taught, there is no one to answer. You ask, am I the body? No, the body changes every day. Am I the mind? But the mind is a flowing, unstable stream of thoughts. Am I the memory? But memory is the past, not the present self. Am I the soul? But that is also a concept you have never seen. Just like that, all definitions collapse. And in that moment, when you stop grasping, you are no longer the questioner. That state, complete silence, is your true self. Ramana does not need you to define the truth. He just needs you to stop and look straight into the place where there are no words. Who am I? Not meditation, but breaking away. In the usual meditation methods, you try to be calm, watch the breath, recite a mantra. But Ramana takes a shorter, more direct path. Trace back to the person who is meditating. Who is breathing? Who is sitting? Who wants enlightenment? Trace it to the root. And you will realize that person does not exist. There has never been anyone like that. Just an idea in the mind. What remains, that which knows that there is no I to meditate on, is you. Not that you find it. But, when you are nothing, it, like the sky behind the clouds, reveals itself. The reason the world is afraid of this question. because it does not allow you to retain any identity. It does not allow you to be a better person, a more spiritual person, a more knowledgeable person. It destroys everything. It does not let you do anything with it. It does not help you achieve anything. And that is why it is liberating. There is nothing left to prove. There is nothing left to defend. There is only the empty, but shining, truth that you are. The no need to search, because you have never lost. The whole world outside is like a maze, where you think happiness lies at the end of a path. So you go, study, pray, practice, make pilgrimages, control, but the more you go, the more you feel the lack. Ramana Maharshi came and broke the whole maze with one simple truth. You have never lost. You have only thought that you are not enough. Enlightenment is not about becoming, it is about ceasing to pretend. He said, there is no need to attain enlightenment. Just stop believing that you are not enlightened. You do not need to do anything more. You just need to stop and see clearly. What you are seeking has never left you. You have never been a seeker. You are the light that is already shining, but is covered by the very idea of I am lacking. A state that cannot be created, because it is not a state. Many people ask, what does it feel like when I attain that stillness? Ramana replied, silence is not a feeling. It is not a state. Because all states come and go. Silence is the basis of all states, the witness. When you stop clinging, you don't get it. You return to it. You don't have to create silence. You just have to stop disturbing it with the noise of the mind. Knowing is no longer knowing with the head, it is knowing with not knowing. The moment you are truly silent, no longer trying to know, no longer trying to understand, a new kind of knowing arises. No words. No images. Unable to be shared. Ramana called it pure awareness, the knowing that needs no object to know. You know that you are, but you don't need to think to know it. That being is your very being. And it needs no proof. Silence is not the goal, it is the essence. When people think of silence, they usually imagine a quiet place, with no noise, no one to disturb them, an external setting. But the silence that Ramana Maharshi points to is not the setting, but the essence. Not the destination, but yourself. He once said, silence does not come from silencing sounds, but from seeing that there is no responder. Silence, not a state, but a ground. You can be in the middle of a market, in the midst of honking cars, in the midst of stress at work, in the midst of rising sadness, and still be in silence, if you are no longer pulled by unconscious reactions. Silence is not a state of calm that you try to create through meditation or soft music. It is a stateless state, because it is not dependent on any conditions. It is the ground, unmoving, uncreated, where all experiences arise and pass away. When the mind stops interfering, silence manifests itself. The mind always wants to do something. Fix itself. Run away from emotions. Control the situation. Analyze, why am I like this? But Ramana taught, what needs to be done is to stop interfering. Let things be as they are. Return to the one who sees, and stay in that seeing. When there is no one to control, there is only silence. Silence is not the goal of meditation. Silence is what you are sitting in, even when you are thinking, sad, talking. Silence outside is not silence inside. You can sit still, not speak, not move, but inside there is still a great noise. Thoughts, reactions, interpretations, desires are still going on. Ramana did not say you have to sit still. He said, silence is the absence of the self, not the absence of sound. When you drop the idea of I have to control this situation, I have to control this emotion, you are returning to a state of impersonality. That state, no one feels, but clearly present, is silence. Silence, not a goal to be achieved, but something that is hidden. Silence is never absent. It is never broken. It is only hidden by the noise of the mind, the ego that always wants to become someone, understand something, reach a certain state. A monk often thinks, I have to meditate deeper to enter a state of silence. But that still comes from the ego that is seeking a state. Ramana looked at that and said, you don't have to do anything. You just have to let go of the one who is trying to do something. At that moment, when there is no doer, silence is self-evident. Silence is the ultimate truth, beyond experience. Silence is not an experience you can describe, I feel silence. Because if you feel it, it is still a mental state. What Ramana pointed to is that which witnesses all sensations, including the feeling of peace. Silence is that in which all experiences happen, including the noise. And when you stop fighting the noise, you automatically return to silence, not because you have achieved it, but because you have stopped denying it. The truth, you are silence. Ramana did not say that you should be silent. He said, you are silence. All the noise you are hearing is a reflection in you, not you. You do not need silence. You only need to see clearly that you have never left it. In short, how to realize stillness. Do not try to stop thinking. Do not force yourself to be still. Do not pursue any state. Just observe everything as it is, and ask, who is the one who sees it all? When there is no one to answer, you fall into pure stillness. No one owns, no one creates, it is you. Not enlightened one, only enlightenment. In the spiritual quest, the most dangerous and subtle thing is not the gross things like money or status. It is the high illusion, I am practicing to become an enlightened one. It is subtle. It looks noble. But it is still the ego in disguise. Ramana Maharshi quietly exposed it. He never declared, I am an enlightened one. He never took formal disciples. He never said, follow me, I will liberate you. He just remained silent, and that silence revealed the whole ego game. When there is no enlightened one, the truth emerges. Enlightenment is not a person becoming purer, more knowledgeable, more enlightened. If there is a person who has attained enlightenment, then it is not enlightenment. Because that person is the illusion that needs to be dissolved. Enlightenment is the dissolution of the one who wants to be enlightened. When there is no one left to receive, what remains? Enlightenment itself. Ramana Maharshi is the embodiment of that. No show. No splendor. No high energy. He is just present, as nameless, formless, unindependent. And in that absolute simplicity, the unknown is clearly revealed, like the empty sky. I am awakened is the last trap. Many spiritual practitioners fall into this trap. I have understood. I am on a higher plane than others. I am the awakened one, they are the deluded one. The moment you think I know, you are separated from the truth. Because the truth belongs to no one. The truth cannot be possessed. Ramana Maharshi once said, "When you truly realize yourself, there is no one to boast of, no one to claim. There is only complete silence, no trace of the individual remains. The person disappears, enlightenment remains." Ramana did not teach you to better yourself. He taught you to disappear, like a fire that devours all ideas of self. No more I am the enlightened one. No more I must remain awake. No more I must convey the truth to others. There is only I am nothing, and nothing is everything. So, if you still hope to reach a higher version of yourself, stop. If you still think that there is a state called I am enlightened, wake up. Because the self is never enlightened. Enlightenment only happens when there is no more self. Ramana lived it in silence, in unconditional gaze, in unowned presence. Conclusion: enlightenment is not an experience, it is always there. You have been with us through many parts, from the question "Who am I?" to the foundation of silence, through the dissolution of the ego, and to the end, there is no one left to enlighten. So who are you, after all? Not the thinker. Not the stories about yourself. Not the form sitting here reading this article. You are the nameless knowing, the one reading these lines, but not defined by any words. Ramana Maharshi did not come to add concepts. He came to burn away all that you thought you were. You need not learn anything more. Just turn inward, ask, "Who is reading?" and remain in the silence after that question. In that silence, you will find no one. And because there is no one, the whole universe awakens, as pure presence. You are not what you think. And that is the most beautiful thing you can discover in this life. Stop. Look inward. Stay. All that you seek has always been there, in the silence that nothing obscures.